Hi, I'm Paul and I visit theme parks across the UK and Europe to help you decide which rides and attractions are truly worth your time and money. In this series, I'll share my honest thoughts, break down the biggest pros and cons, and help you figure out what's worth queuing for and what to avoid. Today I'm at Paultons Park in the south of England, voted best theme park at the 2025 UK Theme Park Awards, where they're about to open their brand new themed land. Let's check out the pros and cons of Paultons Park. So today is actually the opening day of Valgard, Realm of the Vikings, Paultons Park's brand new themed land, which means we've got a brand new roller coaster to ride, Draken. We've also got the re-themed Raven. There's a wild swing, which I'm looking forward to riding. I rode one of those at Tripstrel. That was really good fun. Feels like a great fit for this park. So that's where we're going to head first, see how that's all looking. There will have already been a full Valgard area tour here on the channel. So if you want to learn more about that area, you can watch that. But we're going to do a quick pros and cons through there as well today. And there is the updated signage. Well, there is Draken, a brand new Gerstlauer Eurofighter. That's going to be the headline attraction here in Valgard. Well, I have just had my first ride on Draken, the park's brand new Gerstlauer Eurofighter. They've got new style restraints, so it feels a bit more like you're wearing a lap bar. Because of the way the restraints are designed, you definitely do get lifted out of your seat. Over the airtime moments, like the first hill, really good. The stall towards the end also has some nice hang time there as well. With the sort of the standard old style Gerstlauer restraints like you get on the likes of Soar, you would have got nothing there at all. So I do appreciate that. It is very short, so that has to be said. I do think when you look at this plot of land I'm stood on now, they could have extended it a little bit further. Of course that would have cost more money, and it is worth bearing in mind that the entirety of Valgard has only cost 12 million, which is really impressive. But overall, Draken, it just about gets a pro for me. So I'm going to go and join the queue for Wild Swing. Wild Swing was awesome. I'm so glad we finally got a Wild Swing here in the UK. They are the perfect family frat rides. They're thrilling, they're accessible, they're entertaining. You kind of get flung all over the place, but it's not so much that it's too forceful for younger riders too. So it's the perfect ride for Paultons Park, really. That's really good. The queue line's nicely themed as well with all the trolls, and I'm just happy to have ridden another Wild Swing because they are super fun rides. Well, it's a pro for Raven. I think the Gerstlauer bobsled coasters are such perfect family roller coasters anyway. That re-theme has given it such a glow up. The interaction with Draken as you come off the drop is really fantastic. It's one of the closest near misses between any two coasters in the UK outside of Blackpool perhaps. The station theming is really impressive too. The animatronic crows are great. The storyline with the importing of the golden apples, all that kind of thing. It's a unique storyline and a roller coaster that is perfect for its target demographic. So yeah, all good. So Edge is still down here as well, although this is no longer part of Valgard, which is interesting. It kind of exists out on its own. But great to see it back operational again though. This is of course the park Zamperla Disco. Don't have many of these in the UK. So let's go and explore some other parts of Paultons Park, shall we? Beginning with Lost Kingdom, or Forbidden Kingdom, or Lost Valley. I managed to call it so many different names. It's the dinosaur area, put it that way. And you know me, I love a dinosaur area. Here's Timmy T-Rex with his tiny little hands. Velociraptor is on a 15-minute queue, so I think we'll start there. That's if I don't get eaten. Hey, it's Reggie Raptor with his sample Jurassic Park sounds. You alright there, buddy? You doing alright? Ah, he sort of shook his head there. Go on, make a Jurassic Park noise. There we go. For one of the OG Vekoma family boomerangs, Velociraptor is pretty good fun. I almost called it Velocicoaster then. They might be fun, Velocicoaster it is not. However, it does its job. It has a couple of moments that are kind of forceful. Sitting at the back as I was, you get a nice drag over that hill, over the station, and you get pushed back into it as you go backwards, as you drop down the drop. So it's pretty good fun. It gets a pro just about. It's very short, but like I say, it's a fun little roller coaster. It's perfect for all the family. It does everything it needs to do. And right next door is their other Vekoma Dinosaur roller coaster, Flight of the Pterosaur, my favourite of the two. So let's go for a nice family invert ride. Dare I say it, but I may actually enjoy Flight of the Pterosaur more than Draken. That is so much more forceful than it really has any right to be. You get pulled over that drop, and I was only in the second row, so I wasn't even that far back. I mean, towards the back of the ride, you would really feel that. The helices are really forceful as well. That's just a really fun family coaster. It's pretty much the standard family suspended layout from Vekoma. But I think because it's bedded in, and don't be wrong, there's definitely some judders in there now, but it's not in a rough way, and it almost adds to the intensity of it. So I really like that. Like I say, it's sort of better than it has any right to be. They've looked after it really well. Obviously the theming around it with all the dinosaurs and stuff is really cool as well. Goes in the pros pile. All right, let's go for a ride on the Dinosaur Torco, because why not? It's a dinosaur ride, and how can you possibly go wrong with that? As I've said a million times, I want a dinosaur animatronic in my house. Might have to set up a GoFundMe for that. Do you think he qualifies? Immediate raptor.
You guys ever been on a dino safari?
Look at this chap.
Did you see that
he's got eggs.
Coelophysis we just passed? That Dilophosaurus.
Look out, Dennis Nedry. You're in trouble, son.
Don't forget to take a trip on our boat safari there until that cheeky little consognatist decides to hop off the bonnet.
Oh, got another big one up here.
Hello kids, give it to me.
Oh, we're going to the dinosaur nesting area now.
Our security guy. Wow! Look guys, that baby raptor's just hatching. This is incredible. A rare treat for all of us.
Oh, I think he's seen better days. Oh! Just got sprayed. Unnecessary water spray there. Not feeling that.
56 million years ago.
Oh, being roared out by Megalosaurus.
So even though Megalosaurus means big lizard,
Dinosaur Torco has a bit of charm to it. It's seen better days, I can't deny that. That animatronic near the end, he's a bit rubbery and a bit shaky. But you know what? It's a ride where you get on a Jeep and you see some dinosaurs. I can't not give that a pro. So Splash Lagoon is their kind of child-friendly log flume. I'm going to give this one a miss, but it does look fun for what it is. So another thing we do have to talk about here at Paultons Park is their beautiful gardens. This is such a lovely little area to come and explore and walk around. If you want some downtime from the rides or just to relax for a little bit, you've got a nice fountain over here. Put gates in the way as well, just so young children can't just wander in unsupervised. And look, you've got these little caves down here as well. This is just really nice. And say hello to the Scarlet Ibis. I think it's so great that they've kept this little area of the park here. So many theme parks would be tempted to develop it, turn it into another ride area. But it's actually nice just to have a little bit of serenity at a theme park, away from all the carnage and the chaos. And this little Japanese garden's always been one of my favourite areas here. It is another pro for this section of the park. So like I said before, I have been invited here today for Supervans Day, so I'm really trying my hardest not to be biased. But Paultons Park just do so many things so right. And indeed, it's for that reason that they won Theme Park of the Year 2025. So Ghostly Manor was their brand new dark ride for last year. This will be my first time riding it, so let's go and experience the Ghostly Manor. Oh, this queue line's all really spooky, isn't it? Look at this. Funky ghostly mirror. I like that. Oh, and some stacked chairs. kind of backroom style. Yeah, this queue line's fantastic. I'm really appreciating the effort they've gone into here. We've got all the books lying around. Got a sort of creepy well here with a boot. For some reason, I mean, everyone knows that boots are terrifying. I am, of course, talking about the pharmaceutical brand. Sort of Gengar vibes, and that is a ghost containment unit. They're certainly borrowing some of the lore from Ghostbusters. What an intriguing ride system. Hello. Can you say subscribe to Coaster Wave? He's not a fan. Yeah, Ghostly Manor was pretty good fun. It's quite an intriguing ride system from Mac. The way you kind of swivel round and stuff, so you can, it sort of aids capacity, so you can have 4 people sat one side and 4 the other side. Certainly similarities to that kind of Toy Story Mania style ride system in how a lot of the screens operate. I didn't feel the guns were the most responsive, but they still did quite well. The interesting mix between practical scenes and screen-based scenes was quite cool as well. And obviously there's a little story going through that you're helping the old chap, I can't remember his name now, to capture ghosts, especially OG, who I guess is the original ghost, even though you don't spell it that way. But yeah, on the whole, really well presented ride by Paultons Park again. The queue line was really nicely themed. And the ride system itself, very unique for the UK. So once again, it's a pro. This weather sucks though, but can't really blame Paultons Park for that. Or can I? Come on, Paultons, transport your park to somewhere with better weather. So if there's one area of the park that I think could benefit from a bit of a glow up, it's Critter Creek. I mean, some of these little statues and things down here are quite cool and colourful, and elements of it still look quite nice, but now that the area around by Cobra has been tidied up, this just feels slightly lacking, and hopefully after the water coaster in 2027 this will be the next part of the park that gets some attention. Caterpillar coaster, probably going to give this a miss today because yeah, it's not one of the better rides here, and my time is now starting to get a little low. And whatever that thing is there, I mean, it looks like Pumbaa has been cloned by the thing. So if there is one con, then it goes to Critter Creek, because it does feel like it's lagging behind the rest of the park now. But in part, that's because the rest of the park feels so well themed and well loved. So yeah, I guess that's the poison chalice of having so many areas of the park that are so nice to look at and walk around. So Tornado Springs remains one of the best themed lands I think we have in the UK. The effort that went into this, and the fact that it feels so different to any other kind of area in any other UK theme park really stands out to me. And just over the back of Tornado Springs is Farmyard Flyer. This is a fun little family coaster. Again, probably not going to ride this one in the rain. Around here is where you have some of the food offerings as well. I've eaten in this Mexican place here before. That's really good and quite reasonably priced as well. Burritos from $10.25. And there's the entrance to trekking tractors over the back there. So yeah, overall, Tornado Springs is a really fantastic themed area. And I think still probably my favourite here at Paultons Park. So overall, Tornado Springs gets a pro, but we'll break down some of the major attractions later on. And that brings us to Peppa Pig World. Now clearly, this is not aimed at me. I'm not in the demographic as a man in his 40s. I'm not so appreciative of cartoon pigs. But what I am appreciative of is what opening this area has done for Paultons Park as a whole. Not only is this really well themed, I mean, if I was a kid into Peppa Pig, I would be in absolute heaven wandering around here. It's so bright and green. This proved to be so popular that this given Paultons Park the money needed to invest in the remainder of the park. Without Peppa Pig World, we probably wouldn't have Lost Kingdom or Tornado Springs or Valgard. This is kind of where the modern Paultons Park started, and for that it gets a massive, massive pro. This is how theme park investment should be done. You invest in something that brings in the crowds, and then you use the money you earn from that to continue developing and growing the rest of your park. It's the model all theme parks should follow. And having a pancake kitchen is never going to be a bad thing in my eyes. And over at Penguin Island, the penguins have come out to say hello as well. Look, one of them's even standing on a bridge. Penguins are just cool, aren't they? And this guy down here, going for a cheeky little swim. And who can blame him? And look at the size of Trevor the tortoise down here. He's having a bite to eat. Also really cool to see that they still have that old water mill here as well at the park. It's great that they have kept some of the heritage. You know, it's still a park you can walk around and enjoy just as a country park as well if you don't want to get on the rides. And in addition, they do have a few animals here as part of this little zoo area too. Apparently they've got a yellow mongoose in here. Can't see him though. Oh, there he is. Not to be confused with that broom on the floor, but he's having a little bite to eat. He's cute, isn't he? Let's zoom in. Oh, here he comes. You coming to say hello? Yeah, I'm a fan of him. Big up the mongoose. Also got to give a shout out to the carousel, one of the best looking and nicest themed carousels in the country. Just look at all the topiary characters on the perimeter. So cool. So if there's one thing that I do think Paultons Park could improve on, it's this entrance plaza here. As you walk out of the front, we're kind of greeted with, well, not a lot really. I sort of feel as though if they had like a nice statue in the middle here, that would be really nice. But also, as you kind of look to your right, just as you come through, you've just got a fairly ugly toilet block right there. That feels quite dated and feels reminiscent of Paultons Park's past. It doesn't necessarily reflect the sort of park you have now. And for a lot of people, first impressions matter. I do have, however, really like the floating globe here. I think this is a really cool touch. It's just a shame, like I say, that the backdrop is a toilet block. I don't know, am I being too critical? Let me know what you think. But if you look at it from back here, I just feel like a nice fountain or a statue in this middle section here would just really enhance the first impressions of the park. And this building you walk into as you enter the park, I heard someone earlier describe it as looking a bit like a service station. And I do kind of see what they mean. I do appreciate though that completely redoing your whole entrance and entrance plaza does come at a cost, and one which doesn't necessarily bring new guests into the park. So I can understand why it's maybe not a priority right now, but I hope it's something they do look at somewhere down the line. Right, let's go for a ride on Cyclonator, the park's fantastic and very thrilling gyro swing. Yes, Cyclonator's still a lot of fun. It has developed a very slight judder in places, but despite that, still one of the most thrilling rides here at Paultons Park. I always enjoy a gyro swing, and that is 100% going in the pro pile. It's one of my favourite rides here. And up next, I've got basically no queue for Storm Chaser, and it really is a stormy background, isn't it? Let's go chase a storm. That was quite a violent ride, but in mostly a good way. It has picked up some of that Mack rattle over the years, but still a really good spinning coaster. Perfect for families, but it's got enough violence there to satiate thrill seekers too. I think that's probably the best roller coaster here at the park still. Even with the addition of Draken, there's something really fun about Storm Chase. It's really well themed as well, and I think that aids the experience overall. It's going up the lift hill behind me. I did have the option to go back on for round 2, but I can smell food, and food is calling me. Either way, that goes on the pros list. Here we go, Buffalo Falls, whoa! Oh, airtime! Whoa! He's coming in first! Yay! I enjoy a water slide, and Buffalo Falls was really good fun. It's basically depth charge at Thorpe Park, but in yellow. And I've got no problems with that at all. Plus I came first, so on that basis, gotta be a pro, isn't it? So a quick word about Paultons Park's operations, because they have some of the best operations I think here in the UK. They absolutely plough out the trains on every roller coaster. They're quick, they're secure. We're at the point in the evening now, and there's maybe a couple of hundred enthusiasts here, and they're still running 2 trains on Storm Chaser when there's really no need to. And that just shows how much they care about their audience, the people who arrive here, and as well as the sort of content creators to support the park as well. So I think that's got to be a massive pro. I think this is one of the best operated parks in the country, along with Thorpe Park, who also do a fantastic job in my opinion. So that's definitely a pro. And I'm going to end with something that I think is a pro and a con, and that is the price of the ticket. So in advance, the day ticket here is £48.50, which is quite expensive. And I do see a lot of families online complain that they do find it quite prohibitive, and I do completely understand that. However, I think as a single ticket, when you put it up against a comparative park like Chessington or Legoland, where at the very least you're going to pay £32. On top of that, you're going to pay parking, and on a busy day, you're probably going to find yourself coerced into buying a fast track or 2 as well. So it all adds up at those parks, whereas here you're playing one park, face value, includes your parking, there's no fast track system here, and because of it the queues move really quickly anyway. But I also completely understand that for a family of 4 or 5 it gets very expensive. So that goes in the pros and the cons pile. But what do you think? Is Paultons Park the perfect family theme park, or is the price point just a little bit too prohibitive for you? Let me know down below, and I'll catch you soon here on Coast the Wave. See you later.